Welcome back, and today we have a beautiful, beautiful surprise for you. In case you were wondering, we have one of the most gorgeous women we have had on this stage, on this show in a long time, and she goes by the name of Njeri, and she has officially been crowned Miss Kenya. Welcome to the show, Njeri. How are you?
I am well. I am well.
The first thing I noticed is your hair. Your hair is so curly, and you just look so nice and happy and bubbly. How do people describe you when they meet you for the first time?
Yeah, so it just depends the setting. I would say I'm an ambivert. So if I'm around people I know, I can be very, very bubbly. I'm known for my really loud laugh that just comes out. And then I can be a chatterbox, but I also listen very well.
Okay, that's a really nice balance to have. And shockingly, how did you get on board the Miss Kenya bandwagon? Because I'm sure that's a story. So tell us that story.
Yeah, sure. So it's actually the Miss Kenya USA.
Okay.
And I admired pageants, so it's something that we all grew up watching, beauty queens on the TV, and we look and we're like, one day, that's something you aspire to do. And I didn't think much about it as the years went on. I was just like, okay, I know I want to do it before I age out. And then I was also considering modeling. But then when I learned about there was Miss Kenya USA, I was like, this is perfect. Because let's say I did Miss Georgia USA, or Miss Georgia rather, in the States, that's only one part of my identity. And then if I did Miss Kenya, maybe some would say I'm not the most proper representation of Kenya. So when I found out there's the Miss Kenya USA, I was like, finally there's a place that acknowledges both parts of my identity. So I was like, all right, if this is the first pageant I ever do, let it be one where I did it because it aligns with who I am the most. And so that was one of the main reasons, as well as being in school and learning so much information within public health. And I'm like, how do I share this with people? And how do we get these solutions and people doing these preventative measures?
Okay. A lot of us grew up watching Top Model. Our only reference to modeling and pageantry was Tyra Banks on Top Model. But if we're being honest, she was a little bit mean. So we were like, I really want to do this. I feel like I could really do this. But at the same time, am I ready for this? And I even had a cousin who was trying modeling, and they tell her things like, "Oh no, you need to stop doing less housework because your hands, darling, this is not giving." So has the culture changed over the years, or is it still the same very unrealistic goals that you have to meet for you to be considered part of the pageantry?
Right. So I think the most beautiful thing is that there's a lot more representation when it comes to the beauty industry, fashion. We have different types of women, all different shapes and sizes. And I think because of that inclusivity, even the guidelines for, let's say, pageantry, more recently, they've now added mothers. Because why, if you're a mother, can you not be a beauty queen, right? If you are a role model for little girls, if you're a role model for even women, right? Even if a mother is watching you, at least she can be like, I can do that too. So I think it's really beautiful to see that shift as we've moved. But I mean, once again, when it does come to pageantry and modeling, to an extent, I love how women have reclaimed it as opposed to it being for the male gaze. They've now taken it with force, and they're like, no, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, and this is what I want to do.
I do it because I like it. I don't do it for you or for your stare. And that is such a beautiful message, by the way. It's the changing of the perspective that can create a huge, huge impact on it. And I love how she's making it sound like it's a nothing burger. That is such a huge accomplishment, in all honesty, not just because of the pizzazz of it all, but as you said, it gave you the platform. This is something you've mentioned at the beginning when we were having a private chat, and you said that the reason why you gravitated towards it was not only because you had that nice balance of your identity being showcased properly, but also the additional aspect of this is a huge platform where I can actually showcase what I studied in school, what I am passionate about, and it can actually have an impact on other people in the form of public health to the people. So now that you've gotten to that point and accomplished this major thing that you are underplaying and downplaying so much, what have you done anything to to that regard or with that regard?
Yeah. So this is part of the reason why I came back to Kenya. I've been here for now 2 months, and the first month I was here, I did this educational program at Green Garden Schools, not too far from here. And my whole thing was, I want to have students be able to know who they are so they can know how to contribute to the world. And so it was interesting also, there's this statistic that was showing that I believe it's over 400,000 grade 9 students don't know what they want to do. And if we don't take time to think and say, okay, if we don't invest in these children, what will happen to the, the nation or the economy? It's like, who knows how, by fostering these dreams, what can come out of it. So I was there for some time doing that project, and it was really, really beautiful that the school allowed me to have that component. And then I just came back from Kisumu. I was there with an organization called CHAMPS, where they do like maternal and child surveillance. So after the child passes on, they see what the true cause of death was. And then in doing so, now you can come back and tell the community, like, okay, this exactly because of that. And so it was really interesting to, beyond just reading about now, the data and from back home, being there and actually seeing, like, if only mothers knew to follow through with their antenatal care, right? Or to take folic acid so that the child could fully develop in their belly, how preterm conditions will not be the 5th and 6th leading cause of death for both male and females here in Kenya. And it's so interesting to see how when a mother passes away, the nation, everyone will know, right? Isn't it even in the national level? It will be a thing. But so many babies pass away every day from preventable measures, right? We have the infections from acquired from the hospital, right? And so, like, they have the babies in all, one bed together, and then they acquire
and lack of resources.
Exactly. And it's not that people don't want to do anything, it's just too spread out. And so that's part of the reason with my platform. At first we were doing one baby, one cot, but then when we went in, we realized that it was more of an infrastructure thing, right? So it's like, okay, that is good, but it's temporary. Instead of putting the Band-Aid, why don't we come in and purchase CPAP, which is a machine that will allow the child to breathe, right? But there's something like that. It's like, okay, I've already raised 200,000. We're trying to reach 1 million, but I'm just like, how can we make lasting change so that we're investing in our future beyond beyond the now.
Okay. And given your background, in health,
right,
and your platform that you've gotten from being Miss Kenya USA, you've been able to leverage that and be really involved in the community with maternal health, with Cultivate, the program for the kids. But now, given now your background is now in modeling,
right,
does that come, with a huge contrast, especially with, perception with people? Because for whatever reason, we've been fed this, imagery of what models are and how vain they are, just in general. Even in movies.
Airheaded as well, because that's a huge narrative.
The role a model and somebody who's very, in their beauty will be given is she doesn't know what she's doing, she can't explain. Even the parodies of them, giving very silly answers to very forward questions. So does that come in contrast with what you do, especially with public perception? They're like, okay, but why exactly are you doing it, like, for real, for real?
Yeah, to an extent, I think it's like, you would say I'm an anomaly, but I think it's beautiful to have more examples like me, that there are people who, we all as people are multifaceted, right? We don't just have one interest. So I think I appreciate modeling, that it gives me the leverage to be creative, right? I can come, we hear the photographer's vision and make it happen, right? And then when it comes to now pageantry, it allows me now to meet, like, to be here today, to have a platform and, push that forward. And then being a student or being a student within public health, these are things, like, they're all part of my values. And I think the more we can be multidimensional, we break these barriers of, oh, you only do one thing, so you stick to that one thing. So I think it's nice that, okay, yes, it's the beauty that brought me in, but when I open my mouth, then you're like, oh, there's more beyond that.
It's like that entryway. Use what you have to get to where you need to get to, which is, again, something that I've noticed a lot with you. It's like you're not really hyper-focused on the pageantry of it all. You really are very much focused on the additional aspect of what can I do with this now that I have it in this time. And speaking of which, because like this is there was a lady who did Jiggas, the anti-Jigga campaign.
Miss Kenya.
Yes, she was a Miss Kenya. This is many years ago, and we haven't seen any Miss anything doing a huge cause like this one. So it's first of all, shout out to you for doing that.
Thank you.
Claps. We need to give. Credit where credit is due, and your flowers 100%.
Thank you.
But speaking of which, and I know I will just mention it, does she not look like Ginny in Georgia? Does she not look? And then when you said you're from Georgia, I'm like, girl, you look exactly like. Do you get that a lot?
No, I never heard
comparison.
that before.
Yeah, because it's the fluffy hair.
Maybe it's the hair.
Right? It's the hair, maybe.
Yeah.
And the skin tone as well. You don't get it ever?
No, what I do get is that many Kenyans don't claim me. I get Ethiopian, Rwandan, but I never get Kenyan. So that's always very interesting. Even when I say, I'm Kenyan, they're like, really? Are you?
Okay.
Which
No,
part? Yeah.
My name's yes. You may be called.
You speak Swahili too. Right.
See this
I do. But
Let me show you.
Yes, I understand more so Kikuyu than
Okay.
speak, but yes.
That's so cool.
So it's funny.
And what's another interesting thing that people tend to assume about you?
That's an interesting one. Another assumption. Maybe that I'm all the time outgoing. Like, if you catch me on the right day, like today's a Friday. I'm really happy it's Friday, so I can yap. But another setting, you can meet me and I can be very serious. Like, you would think it's my representative, because it's like, oh, last time I met her, she was the loudest person in the room laughing. And then now it's me very composed.
Very professional.
Right.
Okay.
There's that duality.
Okay. You seem to really like that, to represent every single aspect of yourself and make it
Right.
as loud as possible,
To be the
which is
truest
so cool. Confidence is a thing a lot of people tend to downplay and not bring forth as an asset for themselves. So that's another major thing that you're showcasing to others as a good example. So you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. Man.
And already, being very involved in community outreach and doing the things you're doing. Not many people have been able to achieve that with their platforms. But what can you say about the legacy you're hoping to leave behind? Right now, you're in the starting phases. You're doing all of this good work, and you're working on making it a sustainable practice, just standard practice in hospitals. But what is the long-term goal for you when it comes to maternal health, when it comes to working with, teenagers and children?
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing is when it comes to now inspiring the youth, I think, for me the whole time while I was doing that lesson plan, I was like, if one person's life changed because of what they've heard, then that's all that matters. That's more than the investment. Because if someone now knows their purpose or what they want to do and how to do it, and to believe in themselves, then you're unstoppable. Any dream, you can make it happen because you are believing in that happening. And then when it comes to maternal health, this is just the beginning for me. I mean, I'm getting my master's now, and maybe God willing, I'll go back to school and maybe become a doctor or work in the hospital. But for me, I'm just like, what can I do now with what I'm capable of doing? Not so much further down the line thinking like, okay, in 10 years time, when I have, this professional job, then I'll be able to have this big impact. It's like, what is the little I can do with what I'm capable of doing now? So I'm really excited that, okay, yes, I'm only 23. This is just the beginning, but who knows what's next?
Yeah, you've been here 2 months. Are you hoping to make this a permanent stay?
Yeah.
Have you been impressed so far?
No, Kenya's left a very great impression of me. It's home, of course, and God willing, yes, I hope to come back to, just experience the country more. I think that diaspora, we're a new category of Kenyans in terms of like, when we come back, you're not received either place you go, right? You're the biggest representative of Kenya outside, and then you come here and everyone is asking you, oh, where are you from? And you're like, yeah, here.
From here.
Yeah, like my ancestors, family, my grandparents, everyone. But I think for me, meeting the country and experiencing it on my own has been beautiful. And I think ultimately my biggest goal is to come and make impactful change instead of having all these organizations from the West and have people first come in and want to change everything about the way systems are, and then they have to even understand the cultural component. What if we have people who look like us and are us and they contribute to the economy and to what's already there? So God willing, I'll be able to come back and help.
That's so cool. Another interesting thing is I know that with pageantry, there are some rules about how you can conduct yourself, how you are able to like represent yourself. But like, does that limit you from like partying? Like, have you had a chance to like be outside of the club, have a little drinky drink with your friends or some water with your friends? Like, have you had a chance to actually enjoy the fun food festivals and the fun food and culture of Kenya that is pretty much partying? Have you had a chance to do that?
Not necessarily. I'm not the biggest party goer, but I love dancing like no one's watching. So I love like daytime activities or like parties or like, something outside. I love the nature and the sun. I'm a fiend for the sun. So if the sun's out, I'll be there. Probably when it's nighttime, I'm going to bed. So
so Karura. Have you tried Karura yet?
Yes, I've been to
Have
the
you
forest.
been to Ngong Sanctuary Forest?
No, I've not been to Ngong Forest.
There's so many nice paths and cool places.
Kenya has a lot of nature.
Yeah, so make sure you go ziplining in it's called Keraita in Limuru. There's so many cool places you can go. But oftentimes we tend to forget to ask a very important question, which is, you came here for a reason. There was something you wanted to say.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to say what you wanted to say?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Do it.
You managed to say everything you wanted to say with this platform.
Yeah, not necessarily everything. I know I hit the heavy thing about like what can be done with the children in regards to the like CPAPs, and then the mothers about the antenatal care and being able to take their, just take the folic acid, right?
They're called pre what?
Just
Prenatal or
yes,
the prenatal
vitamins and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But I think those were the overarching things that I wanted to come and make sure people know.
Yeah. And where can people then make these donations? Because you said you do have a project, you're trying to raise some funds to help with these exact issues. Where can people catch you and where can people make contributions?
So my social, we have Instagram, or I have Instagram, and then there's also a website called nancyjerry.com. And then I also have a GoFundMe set up, so you can reach me there. But I'm more than excited to just meet with brands that align with my values and make meaningful work happen.
Okay. Awesome. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for coming. Young girl watching you wherever they are watching you from, any last words?
Yeah, I would just say believe in yourself, irregardless of what anyone is saying. Dream big and make it happen. Make it happen diligently.
Wise words
so
from a young woman.
I feel like I'm in such awe of you.
Yeah.
You're so well spoken and you're so soft, but you're actually very passionate about what you're saying. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having
doing
me.
what you're doing. You said Instagram at
nn.irungu.
Okay. You got it.
Yes.
You got it.
We'll find a way to attach it on the picture, so also catch it on Ibru TV. We will attach her socials over there or on our social media handles. But for now, we're going to say a quick goodbye. I have been Kathomi, and this was
Nancy Jerry.
And I'm Tarife. Have a lovely weekend. Goodbye.